Welcome back to the warm up, everybody, with Ja and Ben. Continuing our season outlook previews for the season, we are continuing with the Sacramento Kings. Before we get into it, please like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you never miss any episodes of the warm up. Please follow our new social media feeds on Instagram and Twitter as well. And yeah, let's get into it. So, continuing with our season outlook with the Sacramento Kings, um, Kings had a very quiet off season. They didn't do too much. Yeah, they're the Kings or they're the Bulls of the West now. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Let's dive into the roster right now, Ben.
All right, let's do it. So, looking at Sacramento, we'll start at the top, work our way to the bottom. The top, we're going to have Zach LaVine, Domantas Sabonis, DeMar DeRozan. Those are the guys that you're dishing out most of your salary to. After that, there's kind of a big drop off. Then you get to your backup guards and your bench guys. Dennis Schroder, Malik Monk will probably get a lot of minutes this year. Keegan Murray, who is going to miss the start of the season. You bring in Dario Saric on a small deal. You have Devin Carter, Clifford, who's had a lot of potential, and then Keon Ellis, who has had a lot of minutes on that roster as well. And then Drew Eubanks, who's been around for a little bit. And everything beyond that, we're looking at minimums and G League guys. So looking at this roster, obviously there is a lot of guaranteed money being thrown at Zach LaVine. That's what they signed up for when they traded for him. When they did the three-way deal with the Bulls and Spurs that sent De'Aaron to San Antonio, LaVine to Chicago, and other pieces. De'Aaron Fox to San Antonio and LaVine to Sacramento, sending other pieces to Chicago. Dennis Schroder was a nice pickup. He was a very sought-after guard on the first day of free agency. I think that's going to be a good pickup for them to have. Sabonis is obviously the big force on this team that has been part of their, I should say, like good turnaround and then turned into a couple years of mediocrity. But he's a solid piece for them. And then DeMar DeRozan, who can still hoop, is definitely aging, but can still give you a consistent 20 to 25 a night. But looking at this roster, I would say if this team was in the Eastern Conference, they'd have some potential to be scrappy. But looking at the West right now, it just feels like they're the most stuck team in the West. I feel like all the teams we've gone over, you at least have a direction. Sacramento feels like they're very stuck where they're at right now. Just kind of, you don't know where it's going to go. That's my thoughts. What are your thoughts on this roster, Joe?
No, yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, I think them acquiring Zach LaVine was a little head scratching. I thought San Antonio and the Bulls could have done that deal, or San Antonio and the Kings could have done a deal without including the Bulls. You kind of have the same player like ceiling as Zach LaVine is to De'Aaron Fox, just on a worse contract. I like the pickup of Dennis Schroder. It was rumored that they also wanted Russell Westbrook this summer. I don't really know what they're doing entirely. Like you said, like they're just a stuck team right now. But yeah, I'm with you. I think they're a play-in-ish team. They have the potential to have maybe some sneak into that playoff, if they win a couple playing games. But I mean, if I was the Kings, I would take a step back. I would try to blow it up and just get draft picks, because being mediocre is the worst place you could be in any position in all the sports. I mean, they're not going to win the championship. They're not, their best team they had in 13, 15 years was a first round exit. Like it's hard to see a direction for them.
Yeah. I would say, like, looking at the Kings, even their history of their playoff drought, they weren't exactly Western Conference bottom feeders. They were always kind of stuck there where they were. They've been stuck in this level of mediocrity other than that one magical season for a long time now. So I would agree with your assessment of probably either rebuilding or retooling this roster, getting draft picks, because we've talked about this before. That is the way of the NBA right now, drafting young, homegrown, and building your roster from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
So I think that's really advantageous for the Kings to look at right now. Obviously, like Jonathan Kuminga was, high on the Kings' radar as far as trying to
Yeah.
poach him from Golden State. This destination would have made a lot of sense to me because I think that's what Sacramento's lacking is one of those young buckets with potential.
Yeah.
Because most of their guys they have are aging veterans who are just trying to play out the rest of their career. So
Yeah.
it would have made a lot of sense for me, but they weren't able to get him, and he re-signed in Golden State. I don't think that story is entirely over yet. I think Kuminga is still going to find a way out eventually, just
Yeah.
at this current moment. Where do you see them finishing in the West this season?
Yeah, I mean, I could see them anywhere from 9, 10, 11 ish range. I'll say 8, 9, 10, 11. I could see them either being in the play-in or just missing it barely.
Yeah.
I still believe in the upside you have of DeMar and Levine to an extent because we saw it in Chicago for so long and we know it works, but it doesn't work enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keegan Murray, though, being hurt for the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, 4 to 6 weeks of the season, I think is going to hurt them a lot. And I think they should, depending on how that goes and like his recovery timeline, like if they're losing, I wouldn't rush him back. I mean, he's the one bright side they have and probably their own trade, the only tradable piece other teams would like. Um, I would entertain trading Sabonis.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Sabonis is one of those big men that it's hard to build around, and he's such a focal point at the hub. Like he's not a 3-point shooter; he's just more of a like an offensive hub, which is fine. But you need a very very specific type of offense to have that.
Yeah.
I'm looking to see how Malik Monk does this year. Bringing in Schroeder, rumored to want Westbrook. It kind of seems, and then bringing in Levine. It kind of seems like they've given up on Monk a little bit. Who's had flashes of just being a 6 man of the year candidate all the time. And then with their with having Keon Ellis, I think he's a guy that could be a plug and play for a lot of championship contenders. And I think you could potentially get a first or a protected first at least for him as well.
Yeah. I would agree with you on the standings. Probably a 9-10 somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Maybe they get to a 7 or 8. Really just depends on the difference in the wins, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I would say one thing for this team, like this fan base, like when they made the playoffs, was one of the greatest environments we've seen,
Yeah.
like in a long time. Like it's a great fan base, it's a great franchise. They just are stuck, and they need to decide on where they want to go. Do you want to try to like go star hunting and try this, or do you want to rebuild and build, like build from the ground up? So that I think is going to be the biggest key for them going forward. I want to ask you one question because I know this was your SBC final team. What were some of the decisions that you made? I'm trying to remember. What were some of the trades that you made to try to get your Kings in the right direction?
Yeah. So we ended up trading Malik Monk for Rob Dillingham from the
Okay,
Timberwolves.
not bad.
We signed in trade for Kaminga, but we gave up Keegan Murray. And I think the thought process behind that was just Keegan's agent just wanted so much money and we couldn't afford
Yeah.
him. So we were like, okay, we'll take the gamble on Kaminga.
Okay.
And then we brought in that Dillingham trade, we also got Dante DiVincenzo as well. Yeah, we were
Brought him
just
back.
like messing around. We
Yeah.
put Sabonis on the trade block. Nobody wanted him, and I think when we did put him on the trade block, it was probably a little too late. It was like a day
Yeah.
before our presentation was due. But had we started off the just say, all right, we're gonna blow it up like I intended to, um, I think it would have went a little differently.
I guess. Yeah. I don't actually like. I don't dislike those moves, to be honest with you. And if
Yeah,
any of you are watching, if you want to try to get a career in the business of sports business classroom is the place. Just
100%.
contact one of us. We will get you plugged in.
Yeah,
But wrapping things up on Sacramento, we'll see. You just never know if they stay healthy. Maybe they could be a good regular season team. I don't see this as a threat in the West, just with all the other teams that we've mentioned. But yeah, it's kind of a wait and see thing.
yeah. No, just to piggyback on that, I don't think they're a threat or a contender in the West at all. But on a Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and you want to watch a league pass team, I wouldn't be opposed to turning on Sacramento, watching Levine and DeMar get some buckets. So
Yeah, no
yeah,
facts.
yeah. Well, that wraps up our season outlook for the Sacramento Kings. Please like, comment, subscribe on the video. Please turn on that notification bell so you don't miss another episode of the warm-up. And yeah, please follow our new social media feeds on Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Peace and stay safe.